Hey everyone, it's Tina, and I'm finally making the spoon theory video that I have been promising for a while because I do think it's really important, and I've tried to make it a couple of times, but I've been having trouble with editing, so here I'm going to try again. So the spoon theory is something that a woman with lupus came up with when she was trying to explain to her friends why she couldn't always do everything that they can do. And the question is, but you don't look sick, you're not in a wheelchair, or you're not using assistive devices, or you were able to walk, or you're able to get out to dinner. How sick can you really be? So the spoon theory was a really good way for her to help her friends understand. So today I'm going to give you my, I guess, version of the spoon theory. And for that, I had skull spoons made because I love skulls, and I explain the spoon theory a lot. So a spoon for us who are chronically ill, or spoonies, is I guess I can call it a unit of energy, or it's a thing that we can do, and it's as the theory implies, it's limited. So I have 10 spoons here, and these 10 spoons are my allotment of things that I can do, the amount of energy that I have to get things done in a particular day. And some days I have more spoons and some days I have less spoons, but today we're gonna go with a 10 spoon day. So I'm gonna talk about today because I had to use a lot of spoons today, and I had to budget very carefully. Today was the day we celebrated Mother's Day for my mom and my father's birthday. So I wanted to be able to get to dinner and have a good time and not have the entire night center on me being like that. So when I woke up this morning, getting out of bed every morning costs me a spoon. Getting out of mornings are the worst for me, and getting out of bed usually is about an hour-long process because of joint stiffness and other assorted things. And then I had to make myself some breakfast. So I used a spoon to make my breakfast. And then I had to take care of my kitty cats, my two sphinxes. I had to make them breakfast, and since they're special kitties, they get special food. So that took a spoon, getting the cats, fed and ready to go. And then I did some cleaning around the house. I had to clean up my breakfast and the cat's breakfast, and try to do a little light cleaning for maintenance. So that cost me a spoon for sure. And then I had to get ready for dinner, and of course, since I was going out with my family, I didn't want to look like I had just rolled out of bed. So I had to take a shower, which just getting in the shower costs a spoon because the change in temperature and humidity in the shower, for me particularly, and I know other spoonies, is a big problem. So that's a spoon right there. I had to wash my hair, and because I have to reach up to do it, and my joints are not doing so great lately, and it's also just kind of an exhausting activity scrubbing hair. So that cost me a spoon. And so then my mom came and picked me up for dinner, which was very nice of her because that meant that I didn't have to drive, so I didn't have to use a spoon for that. But I did have to use a spoon, to get ready, to get dressed, and to put on some makeup, and to do my hair. That really, honestly, probably cost me 2 spoons. And then dinner, which was wonderful. It was delicious. We had a great time, and it was so nice to see my parents. But even just sitting through a full dinner definitely cost me a spoon. And then my sister was nice enough to drive me home, so my parents didn't have to. And when we got back to my house, she and I were talking, and we had a long talk, and it was really nice to talk to her about stuff that we hadn't talked about in a long time, and some important things. But these kinds of conversations, especially because there's some emotional stuff going on, also cost me a spoon. So I've reached the end of my night after my sister left with one spoon left, and with that one spoon I could either clean the house a little bit, I could spend some time with my boyfriend and watch some TV, or I could make this video. So today I decided to use my last spoon to make this video because, again, I think it's something that's really important. So today, 10 spoons were gone, and if you think about it, I really didn't even do that much. So when you think about spoonies who are working, who have to every single day get up and get dressed nicely and look presentable, spend 8 hours a day in an office, that costs them a lot of spoons. And so when at the end of the week, on a Friday night, they don't want to go out, it's because they probably have run out of spoons, and their last spoon of the day, they may have 2 spoons left at the end of the day, and then they're making choices. Do I use my last spoon and go, my last 2 spoons to go out with my friends? One of those spoons is going to be, getting there, and one of those spoons is going to be used hanging out with my friends. So then you don't have a spoon to drive home with, which is dangerous to be driving with that type of exhaustion. So maybe they'll say no, or maybe they'll say, let's go to my house and hang out instead of going out to dinner or out to a bar. But then, they have to make dinner, and that's going to cost a spoon, and you have to make dinner. You have to eat to take your medication, because without your medication, things will go, you will lose pretty much all your spoons. Things can go very badly and lead to hospitalization. So then, at the end of that, if you make dinner, if you only have 1 spoon left, then you can't clean up. There's no energy left for the cleanup. So then you are already putting your next day into a deficit, because you have to start at some point during the next day, you have to use a spoon to clean up from the previous day. And I mean, this activities that people don't even think much about can take a lot of spoons. Like I said, showering, getting dressed, especially if it's if it involves a lot of buttons, or boots with zippers, bending down, reaching above the head. All of those things take a lot of energy. Cleaning a house, cleaning my whole house would take all of my spoons for a day, probably 2. So if my friends are coming over, I want my house to look presentable, but I also want to have enough spoons left over to actually be able to enjoy myself with them. So my house probably isn't going to be spick and span. Basically, the whole point of the spoons is that that you have a limited number, and you have to learn, as somebody with a chronic illness, to ration your energy, your spoons, what you're going to do. You have to make decisions, and sometimes these decisions are very difficult to make. Some days, if you have to do a lot of things, you'll borrow spoons from the next day, but then the next day you put yourself in a deficit. And again, it's not hard to put yourself into a situation that actually becomes dangerous, such as being stuck somewhere and too tired to drive home, because that's a dangerous situation. Uber has helped me a lot with that, especially with all of my doctor's appointments, because driving, especially during bad weather, or just, on a day where I'm already tired, can take more spoons than I have. So for non-spoonies, non-chronically ill people, when your chronically ill friend says, I'm sorry, but I have to reschedule us hanging out, it's not because they don't want to hang out. It's not because they're being mean or lazy or whatever. It's because they've reached their limit and they know that if they were to hang out with you, they probably wouldn't be any fun. They probably would be sitting like a zombie and they might fall asleep, or they might put themselves in danger for the next day. And if a spoonie gets sick on top of their illness, get cold, flu, stomach virus, something like that, I mean, you can wipe yourself down to 2, 1, sometimes even 0 spoons. So there are, some days where you really just can't leave bed. And that's difficult for the spoonie, and it's also difficult for friends, family, and caregivers. I've gotten a lot of requests for videos, for a video about caregivers, and I've talked to a couple of my friends and my boyfriend, and I will be making a video or a couple of videos about caregivers and caregiver strain and things that can be done to kind of help with that. And one of the other things that is an issue with that is also guilt, and that's more on our side of things, so I will talk about that, and I may see if I can get some of my spoonie friends to come in and help me with that. So I hope that this video is informative and helpful. If you have any questions, comments, anything at all, please let me know. I really want to know if these are videos are helpful. And I also want to give a huge thanks to, especially 2 people, to Ben and to Lisa. You guys have both been watching all of my videos and have been giving me great feedback and have been helping me have the will to continue to do this, and I really hope that this is helping more people. And if it is helping you, please, I'd love to know. And if there's something that you would like me to do, let me know. If there's something about my videos that you would like to see changed, if you think there's something I can do better, also please let me know. So I hope everyone has a really great weekend. I hope everybody has a lot of spoons this weekend and that you get to enjoy it. I know here in New Jersey, we're supposed to have another rainy weekend, so probably not going to have a lot of spoons this weekend, but I'm still going to try to make the best of it and hopefully see some people, enjoy some time with my boyfriend and my cats. And yeah, so have a great weekend, everyone. Again, thanks for watching. See you all soon. Bye.